Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Giorgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I'm back with a very special episode of Beyond the Wrestling. Except this time, we're going to be reviewing Monday Night Raw, and we got to talk about this Dean Ambrose heel turn that just happened, and also what happened at the beginning of the show. I normally don't review Raw or SmackDown on the channels because, especially Raw, because sometimes that show drags on and is a little bit too much. But I still wanted to talk about it with you guys. And wow, I guess we start at the beginning of the show with Roman Reigns saying that he has leukemia and he's had it for 11 years. He's been battling it for that long, and it just came back, which allowed him, which basically made him, relinquish the Universal title. And I've been reading a bunch of tweets and YouTube comments and stuff, throughout the night, as the show Monday Night Raw went on, and y'all, and it was nice that the fans showed respect to him when he did his speech about his health and everything, because if we take away the character of Roman Reigns, we look at the real person. He's actually a really good guy. He works hard, and unfortunately, uh he's been susceptible, or he's been succumbed to bad booking with that character, because you know if we go back to like 2014, he was being cheered. Roman Reigns, the character, was being cheered by a lot of fans, and everyone loved him. And then, of course, Daniel Bryan started to blow up as a babyface, and and fans pretty much hijacked that whole thing. I think what they should have did was waited on the Roman Reigns babyface turn, and let the whole Daniel Bryan thing played out. Let Daniel Bryan got his time, and then you could have turned, Roman Reigns into a babyface. That way, you could have had more than one babyface on the show. And then they had the Batista return, which they treated his character and him so badly. It was just all bad timing, and ever since then, they basically forced fans to cheer and like Roman Reigns, and that's not how it works in the wrestling business. Especially if you want a babyface to get over. But looking at this, I thought that it was a really good speech, and you can tell Roman didn't want to go, because the guy really does love what he does in that ring. And it was very sad, but like a lot of people are saying online, he does take care of himself health wise. Like he's always in good shape, so that really will help him with this battle with leukemia and everything. And hopefully, they don't rush him to come back. Just let him take this time to be with the family and recover, and and get things squared away with all of that. And so and like I said, it was good that majority of everybody was kind and with their remarks and everything. And that's good. And now, considering what happened at the end of Raw, this will be good for Roman Reigns whenever he does return, because that'll give him something to do. And but yeah, no need to rush him to be coming back. Let him just heal and stuff. I've already posted my thoughts on, social media about that. Golly, dude, like, wrestlers go through a lot, it's not easy, especially when you've been doing this at the level that he does, and they work all the time, that's really crazy. But, definitely wishing Roman Reigns the best. Um, and the funny, crazy thing was I had uploaded my previous wrestling gameplay video tonight, and I missed those first couple of minutes of Raw, so that speech happened really quickly. And had I have known that, I would have postponed my wrestling video about NWA or whatever. I would have postponed that video until like another day. But it is what it is. I might do a video tribute for Roman Reigns sometime on this channel, and out of respect. But definitely, I want to know what you guys thought about his, everything that's been going down with him, with that, with him having to relinquish the championship and everything. So definitely, leave your thoughts on that in the comments section. I figured, I dedicate this first 5 minutes or so to, him, because he deserves that. And so, let's talk about, also they had DX on this show, which was really cool. Considering, I'm sure they had it already planned for Roman to do that speech at the beginning. So to have DX on the show, that definitely lightened up the mood. And I tell you guys, as I was watching this show was up and down emotional. It was definitely an emotional roller coaster, but it's good that this Raw was like that, and unfortunately it had to be like that due to what's going on. But hopefully, the ratings have went up, because the ratings have been very low for this show the past couple of weeks. And at the end of the day, you want wrestling, well, mainly WWE's wrestling, the Raw show, to have those same numbers, at least half of the same numbers that they used to have back in the Attitude Era, because they had so many people watching. But I definitely think a lot of people tuned in to this episode of Raw tonight. And like I said, having DX there was really cool. They cut a promo on The Undertaker and Kane, and of course they got interrupted with this very creepy cemetery like promo that Undertaker and Kane cut on them, basically like how Undertaker them used to do back in 96 and 97. And so it was something else, I tell you. Wow. It definitely gave me a lot of nostalgia feelings. They was basically, they had these little fake tombstones with Triple H and Shawn Michaels names on it. And the crazy thing is, WWE is still going through with this Crown Jewel pay-per-view. They're hell bent on getting this show done, and that's something else right there. I'm assuming that they're gonna do this pay-per-view at another venue, because for them to still do this show at Saudi Arabia with everything that's going down over there, that'll be really dumb, and it'll be very distasteful, and that's the last thing they need right now, is more negative press on them. So if they are doing this in Saudi Arabia, they need to cancel that show. Simple as that. But I know they can't really do that because of all the money involved. But the least they can do is move that show. They have to move it, but we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. And then, of course, they did a lot of promotion for the Women's Evolution pay-per-view on this show tonight. Which, I don't know, y'all. I don't have super high expectations for the Evolution pay-per-view. I will be watching it, and I will be doing a review on that, after it airs on the network. So I will definitely give you guys my thoughts on that. And, I don't, like I said, with WWE's recent pay-per-views, you just can't have high expectations. I do expect it to at least be decent. The Trish Stratus and Lita versus Alexa and Mickey, I don't know about that match, because we never seen Trish and Lita team up ever. Back when they was wrestling, they never teamed up with each other. So I hope that match don't be sloppy. I hope all of them don't, to be honest with you, because sometimes they are. I mean, hey, but I do expect Charlotte and Becky to be one of the best matches on this card, and hopefully, Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella don't be bad, and they surprise me with a good match too. The women's battle royal, I'm hoping someone who really deserves it, who really needs that big win, will win that and get that women's title shot. I think. I wish Ember Moon was in there, but she's not. I think Asuka's in there and Carmella's in there. So hopefully it'll be someone who hasn't had a big win to win that. And then I think they had oh yeah, and Braun Strowman, he came out there, after the Roman Reigns promo, and Paul Heyman was even on this show, which was really really cool to have Paul Heyman on Raw, and he was basically showing respect to Roman. And of course, they announced that Braun Strowman will be facing Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel, and it'll be for the vacant Universal title. Honestly, I think they should get rid of that belt because it just seems like there's so much negativity with that belt, man. And also, I hope Brock doesn't win. If they have Brock win the belt, that would be so dumb. They're gonna really have a lot of people angry. Right now, they're in such a good position, with everything that's been going down on Raw tonight. They are in such a good position to, make the fans happy. Braun being the champion is the right thing right now. He can basically be that babyface because a lot of people like Braun. A lot of people like his character. And so, especially with the Dean Ambrose heel turn, you gotta have another babyface in his place, and Braun will be the one for it. And it seemed like tonight that's what they're doing. They're gonna slowly turn him back into a good guy character, and so, when he was confronting Paul Heyman tonight, out of nowhere, Drew McIntyre came out there and Claymore kicked him in the skull, and that laid him out. Well, it didn't lay him out. It definitely stunned Braun Strowman, which caused us not to see the last of him during this show. And, man, And then they had Lashley. He fought Finn Balor. Lashley, he's not getting no reactions from the fans. And pairing him up with Leo Rush, I don't know if it's all that great. It's good for Leo Rush because, hey, he's in a big role, but Lashley's not getting no reactions like he did when he had first came back to the WWE. And I think they really are messing up his character. Hopefully we'll see something else from Lashley so he can get that big time, heat as a heel or something to get more reaction from the fans. It looked like they turned Elias babyface tonight too because he, after he had his match with Apollo Crews, him and Baron Corbin got into it. And he ended up hitting Baron Corbin with that guitar, which was definitely a nod to the old Jeff Jarrett stuff. Fans like Elias, and he does get a reaction from the fans. So him as a somewhat babyface is not a bad idea. And let's definitely go and get to the main event. The reason we're all really here listening right now, or even talking at this time of the night, or whatever it is that you may hear this, is the Dean Ambrose heel turn. We had Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. They had a chance to win the Raw Tag Team titles from Drew McIntyre, and that was a really good matchup. It really was hard hitting, great action. Drew McIntyre continues to show why he needs to be on his own and be a big time single star, because that guy has it. And I think we are going to see Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman for that Universal title in the near future. If not this end of this year, we will see that next year if we don't now. But man. And basically, Braun, he came out there as expected, distracted Drew McIntyre and them. He came and started beating up Drew McIntyre and everything. And so it allowed uh Seth Rollins to come in there and hit that curve stomp on Dolph Ziggler, and basically they won. You can all see what happened on their YouTube channel. If you didn't get a chance to watch any of this, definitely go on their YouTube channel and you'll see how it all came about. So they were celebrating with the tag team titles, and then of course out of nowhere, Dean Ambrose hits Seth Rollins with the double arm DDT and dropped him. And the fans was like, wow. The fans was like, what? Everyone was shocked. And the thing is, I think we all knew this Dean Ambrose heel turn was coming. We knew it was coming for weeks now. When he came back and how they was teasing, it was just a matter of time. But I think the reason everyone was shocked is because they did it on the night that Roman Reigns had to relinquish his Universal title. The night that Roman Reigns had, announced to the world that he's battling leukemia right now, which is a very serious thing. I don't think that was a joke. I don't think that was no storyline, because you don't joke about stuff like that. That was legit in my opinion. And if that is somehow, given what Dean Ambrose did tonight, if Roman Reigns announcing that he had leukemia as a part of a storyline, that is very sick. That is very sick. If that is the case, which I still doubt that it is. But you never know with the WWE. You just never know. And so, and I know, and I've had to explain this on Twitter here tonight to a couple of fans, because some people don't really know the ins and outs of the wrestling business, especially if they didn't grow up watching wrestling during the 90s and even the late 80s, for those who were kids or teenagers or adults around that time. They don't know all this stuff. So, you have to kind of explain to them from a wrestling standpoint, Dean Ambrose turning heel tonight was the right thing. It was the right thing for him to turn heel tonight. It was perfect. I mean, from a wrestling standpoint, because now he's going to get nuclear heat, aka the fans booing him, which is what you want a heel to get from the fans. You want when a heel comes out there, he should automatically be greeted with boos. Like the whole freaking arena just let him have it. That's how heels was back in the 90s, and especially in the 80s. Especially in the 80s, man. In my opinion, that time period, shoot, you knew who the heels were. You knew who the good guys were. And in WWE, for them to pick this night for it to happen is gonna be great for Dean for his career and for this new character. And I hope they don't mess it up. This is a good spot for him, and I think whatever he does next is gonna be crazy. And I can't wait to tune into Raw to see how the fans boo him. Like, he's not gonna be able to say anything, and he probably won't say anything. I wouldn't even have him speak the first week. I'd just let him come out there and let him look at the fans and then leave. That's what I would do. Don't let him speak so soon about this. And just have him have a bad attitude. And once you do that, it's great. And man, this definitely is going to be a Raw, probably the best Raw of this year. It's going to definitely be the best Raw this year in terms of everything that happened and the emotions involved. And like I said, fans, you got to look at it from that. This is a storyline. These are characters. And but they also played off of something that was real, and that's what wrestling is, you know. And if you listen to my other episodes of Beyond Wrestling, you would definitely get it. You know, it's just like any TV show. But anyways, I thought the heel turn. I was shocked, and I didn't expect it tonight. And the reason they probably did it tonight is because they figured, hey, they wouldn't do no heel turn on the night where Roman did that speech, or when they won the tag team titles. WWE, that was smart booking on their part, because they did it in a way so that no one expected tonight. So, and a lot of fans like, okay, well, it's probably not gonna happen for right now with him turning heel. They fooled us. But anyways, you guys, thank you for listening to this very special episode of Beyond the Wrestling. Um, Man, I'm just crazy. It's just really fucking crazy. But it was, I had to do one like this, so I can't wait to get your thoughts on the Dean Ambrose heel turn and what you think is gonna happen next. Let's talk about it. And I hope that I explained this in a way that some of you guys will understand. But thank you again. I love every last one of you guys. Don't forget to check out the NWA 70th anniversary greatest battles. I got that series coming right now. I have the first matchup right now, Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair. So make sure you check that out. Give that some love on there, and let me know what you think of that one if you haven't. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.